did this, William. It was your fault. You have brought this upon yourself.
It was all because of you. The blood is on your hands. The curse is on your name.
There you are, sir. I was beginning to think you weren't coming into work today.
Topham, this railway. One day, it'll be all yours.
Yes, sir, I know.
Take good care of this railway, Topham. Treat it well.
Yes, sir, I will.
I have faith in you, Topham.
Thank you, sir.
And after Meisner left work that day, he was never seen again. Nobody knows where he went. He vanished.
How can somebody just disappear like that?
Nobody knows. He would now be 113 years old.
Isn't that about how old Zorneas and Scarloe are?
Freddy, please. We're just now pushing 90.
Old, my mistake.
Freddy, please. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent. The real reason I wanted to speak with you all tonight is because I want to propose an expedition.
To where?
Mid-Sodor.
But isn't that where we are now? Wasn't the Scarloe Railway built over the old Mid-Sodor lines?
That's correct. However, the Mid-Sodor lines also lead to a now-defunct quarry south of here. The quarry was a beautiful place where narrow-gauge engines excavated coal from the mines. Then, something terrible happened. The mines flooded. The railway shut down. It was a disaster. Wait, what am I saying? Sir Handel, Peter Sam, Duke, you used to work there. I'm sure you've got all sorts of interesting stories from the old days. Don't you, Duke? Duke?
Yeah, I don't really remember that much. It was so long ago. I don't really remember much from that time.
I remember quite a bit. Grandpuff, don't you remember when you had to save Sir Handel, Falcon, from falling off that cliff?
I really don't. I don't remember. I never knew about the,
Is something wrong, Duke? You know, I sort of forgot that you used to have different names. Let's see, you were Falcon, and you were Stewart. So here is my proposal. I want to take an expedition to the old mines. The rails are closed off at the moment, but I can arrange to have the preventative fencing removed for us. I can afford to take 3 engines on the trip, and naturally I was thinking of taking the 3 of you. A little Mid-Sodor reunion. Won't that be nice? That sounds wonderful. Let's do it. You'll come with us, right, Duke?
I don't know. My passengers would awfully miss me.
Taken care of.
But, what?
Come on, Grandpuff. Doesn't it sound fun?
I guess.
Then it's settled. We leave in 2 days. Then something terrible happened. The mines flooded. The railway shut down. It was a disaster.
So what I haven't told them is that this is more than just an expedition. It's a scouting mission.
For the project?
Exactly. Sam Ruffy has refused to sell me ballast, but my research has led me to believe that the mines of the abandoned Mid-Sodor Railway could be a perfect source. Could you imagine that? I'll have my very own source of resources. Vertical integration.
That's incredible.
You're coming too. You know that, right?
But I have to work at the paper.
What's a better story than a forgotten mine filled with adventure? Bring the camera along. You'll get a cover story, guaranteed.
What about Junior?
He can come too. It wouldn't be a party without him. Hey, Sir Handel. Did you know that my middle name is Equilibrium?
Are you excited for the expedition tomorrow, Grandpuff?
Sure.
It sure will be interesting to go back to the mines after all these years. I mean, all those engines that lived there, we can only wonder where they are now. I hope they got sold or something.
Well, I'm sure they all found nice railways to live on.
Just like us.
Mm-hmm.
So, how exactly are we going to do this? Are we each going to take one engine, or, because I just don't know that I'm really qualified to do this. I mean, I'll wing it as best I can, but I just don't want to be held responsible if something goes wrong. I mean, it's the engine's fault, right?
I think I want Burnett to drive me.
Relax. None of us will be driving them. They all have drivers and firemen of their own.
Phew.
Aww. All right, let's do this. Here's to some positive life experiences. This all looks familiar, doesn't it, Duke?
Sure, yeah, whatever.
Is something wrong, Duke? You honestly don't seem like you want to be on this trip, at all.
I just don't think we should be here.
Why shouldn't we be here?
It's disrespectful to the engines who lived here.
Duke, don't be silly. These lines have been closed for years. We aren't disturbing any resting ground. Hey guys, it's a cave. Do we have time to check that out? I love caves. Caves are the best. Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. We're not really on a time frame. Grandpuff, is there a reason you've been acting so strangely? Sir Handel was right. You really seem like you don't want to be on this trip. I suppose it's time I told you all this story. I owe it to you after all these years.
Owe us what?
Do you remember my story about Duncan's twin?
Ooh, I do. I remember it perfectly. Smudger was American.
He rode roughly and often came off the rails. I warned him, but he took no notice.
Hey, Dookie, don't worry about it. Who cares about a few spills?
We do here, I said, but Smudger just laughed. Then one day, the manager came. He said he was going to make Smudger really useful at last. They turned him into a generator.
Then if I remember correctly, after that we became really useful engines. Remember that, Duke?
Well, yes, I remember that story, but it's just... Is something wrong, Duke? Well, you see, that story wasn't entirely true. I left out some details. Smudger was American. He was from Pennsylvania and worked there before being transported to Sodor for the work on the Mid-Sodor Railway. But he wasn't rescaled properly. This caused him to sway and bounce around as he rode the rails, and he was prone to derailment. The poor fellow couldn't help it. He tried his hardest to puff as slowly as he possibly could, but he almost always derailed. I, in my arrogance, thought he had no place on Sodor. Derailed again? Typical careless American. You should be ashamed of yourself. Barging into another engine's country and behaving so poorly, I have half the mind to report you to the manager.
Dookie, please, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. Give me one more chance, please. Come on, Dookie. I want to do better, I promise. It's just that these rails...
What about these rails? I've traveled on these rails 1,000 times and I've never had a problem. The problem isn't the rails, the problem is you. And you have the nerve to blame my railway on your issues. Repugnant.
No, Dookie, that's not what I meant. I promise, I didn't mean to insult your railway.
Ugh. Rude, obnoxious Americans.
Hey, Burnett, do you think there's time for a little spelunk while we're here? Guys, check this out. It's the coolest cave I've ever seen. Just look at that cave. Uh-oh. Guys, run!
Why?
I made a mistake. It was a bad cave. Bad cave.
Oh my goodness!
Run! Junior, you brought a gun? Burnett, almost every time we hang out, somebody tries to kill us.
Are you gonna shoot the bear?
I'm seriously thinking about it, Michelle, but sincerely I have too much respect for such an incredible animal to even consider...
Give me the gun.
What? You missed.
Oh, stop.
Not long after, Smudger predictably derailed again, and by that time I had had it. I was the one who suggested he stopped being on the rails, and I was the one who suggested turning him into a generator. I feel terrible now.
Oh, Duke, I understand why you didn't want to come back here now. Do you still think he's around?
I don't know, but that's only half the story. It gets much, much worse.
Start the engines! Hurry!
Ah! We're being pursued by a large mammal!
Was that a bear?
Sure was. Such a noble and majestic creature. I can't believe my third favorite animal would be so dead set on injuring myself and others. I thought we had something. Whoa, guys! Look at all this! It's a bunch of like antiques and stuff. Hey, Burnett, do you need any of this stuff? I mean, you could probably use it for the railway or something.
It's just.
Whoa, look at this. This has got to be super valuable. Maybe it's important. I wonder if I could do something with this.
Junior, look down.
Oh. Oh, well, I didn't really want it that much anyway. Hey, Burnett, kind of a fixer-upper, am I right?
Is that an old station?
Where do you... Oh. Should we...
We came all this way.
Duke, the rest of your story? It got worse. After Smudger was turned into a pumping engine, he was moved to a new location, Kasnihowen Mine. Yes? Where he failed, and the mines flooded.
Oh, Duke, you're not saying that you...
I am responsible for the closure of the Mid-Sodor Railway. Without the mines there was no reason for it to stay open. All this disrepair, all this destruction, all the time we spent apart, it was all because of me.
You have no idea how good it feels to hear you say that. All this time spent in isolation, all this time in decay, in this kingdom of rot, it was all because of you. All your fault. But you can make it right, Dookie. Finish what you started. I have no steam left.
This is so weird. It's like a time machine.
What was all of that?
There was a rock, and it was above the station, and we were afraid that it might fall on you while you were inside. Sorry, I guess it was a false alarm.
That which was forged in darkness shall return, cleansing this earth and bringing forth a new world. There is shelter under stone, and light within the deepest of darkness. What does that all mean? No idea.
All of them say it.
What?
These scrolls. Every single one of them says that exact same poem thing.
What would compel someone to... Maybe he went nuts.
Was it everything you hoped it would be?
I think it's going to be perfect. We can use the railway to harvest the ballast. It's perfect. But first we have to clean up all this stuff, and I know just what to do from here.
Well, guys, I think we all got what we wanted out of this trip. Michelle, you got your photographs, and Burnett, you got your scenery, and I have developed a newfound respect for bears. They have officially made it up the list of my favorite animals. Yeah, all in all, guys, I'd say we got a lot accomplished. We should do this again sometime.